You don't know how free I am. You don't know how free I am. I am what I am, and I am free. You don't know how free I am.
Yo, check this. I might not be what you want me to be, so you might not see what you want to see. But if you got a minute, listen to what I gotta say, cause it's a brand new year and it's a brand new day. See, there's a gap between my culture and the life that I lead, so some will call me an apple, and some a bad seed. They have no idea how my heart will bleed. Their words and attitudes are things I just don't need.
You don't know how free I am. I am what I am, and I am free.
You see, I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of where I'm from. Those ones spreading racism, they're just fucking dumb. Now, if you're looking at my life and you say I've assimilated, to simplify things, just a little more complicated. See, I'm a modern day native with a modern day life. I have modern day problems and modern day strife. Now I hear other natives, they talk about the past, and will I do the same? Fuck that. See, I've got no time to dwell on what's already done. I've got too many things that I want to do, and they don't include knives, and they don't include guns. I'm talking about knowledge and sharing it too. See, my people need to learn how to cohabitate, get rid of the anger, and get rid of the hate. We gotta stop for a minute and learn to educate, and you'll see in the end, we all have to communicate. I know there'll be a time to make a stand and a time to fight, but if you do that, make sure the cause is right. Because if the cause is right, and the cause is just, greater numbers of people will be backing you up. History has repeatedly shown to us all that united we stand and divided we fall. They were talking about natives and natives alone, because this is a big world, and this world is our home. Now I've seen some beautiful people, and ugly ones too, and there's no single color that comes into view. So the message I'm sending, it's not all that long. It's just, I want the human race to be stronger than strong. I said I just want the human race to be stronger than strong.
You all have to be strong.
Done it. Word.
We all have to be strong. Peace.
Gungilkwa zawadahan sios, ona angadaswa o handagali wadakwa. Ungwetsu a gwegwaska njedidawa wet nuni ni gwat nigula dana de tinu haladas no gwetsu a tinidohak ni gwat nigula. A gwegwaska njedidawa wet nuni ni gwat nigula dana de tinu haladas ni yakini isla ohun jage tinidohak ni gwat nigula. A gwegwaska njedidawa wet nuni ni gwat nigula dana de tinu haladas ne ohun de su a tinidohak ni gwat nigula. A gwegwaska njedidawa wet nuni ni gwat nigula dana de tinu haladas ne onu kwat su a tinidohak ni gwat nigula. Agwegwaska jiandidawa wet nuni ni gwat nigula dana de tinu halados ne onagat su'a. Tuni dohak ni gwat nigula. Agwegwaska jiandidawa wet nuni ni gwat nigula dana de tinu halados ne gahi su'a. Tuni dohak ni gwat nigula. Agwegwaska jiandidawa wet nuni ni gwat nigula dana de tinu halados ne gain tosla. Tuni dohak ni gwat nigula. Agwegwaska jiandidawa wet nuni ni gwat nigula dana de tinu halados ne gojo su'a. Tuni dohak ni gwat nigula. Agwegwaska jiandidawa wet nuni ni gwat nigula dana de tinu halados ne gondilio. Tuni dohak ni gwat nigula. Agwagwaska jende do wa nuni ni gwat nigola dana de tinu wala das na ogwila su tuni do hak ni gwat nigola. Agwagwaska jende do wa nuni ni gwat nigola dana de tinu wala das ne oji do ongoa tuni do hak ni gwat nigola. Agwagwaska jende do wa nuni ni gwat nigola dana de tinu wala das ne iti sutugo on la diwalas tuni do hak ni gwat nigola. Agwagwaska jende do wa nuni ni gwat nigola dana de tinu wala das ne geli ni gawalaga tuni do hak ni gwat nigola. Agwagwaska jende do wa nuni ni gwat nigola dana de tinu wala das ne sugwat jia gokene galakwa tuni do hak ni gwat nigola. Agwagwaska jende do wa nuni ni gwat nigola dana de tinu wala das ne iti sata santana galakwa tuni do hak ni gwat nigola. Agwagwaska jende do wa nuni ni gwat nigola dana de tinu wala das ne oji stokwa su'a tuni do hak ni gwat nigola. Agwagwaska jende do wa nuni ni gwat nigola dana de tinu wala das ne gele ni agwedige tuni do hak ni gwat nigola. Agwagwaska jende do wa nuni ni gwat nigola dana dachi dinu wala das ne sungwai diza tuni do hak ni gwat nigola. Ono wa gali wa hodungo no wani dizlade dogat tena zike nigoha ni zigi aizoda sundala aizawasa tuni do hak ni gwat nigola.
Siguli swagwag, gela hindi niyo gets, wagi sli wagi ni wakitoloda, onida gingwe wenage, ani, bojo, datse, okinapi, how, and yonko, yukotola. And for anyone who is new here or don't know what I said, I always introduce myself in my original language. So I said, hello everyone, Gela Hindi is my name. It translates to clouds passing over in the colonial language. And I'm a member of the people of the Standing Stone First Nations here on the northern part of Turtle Island, the part that's been segregated and relabeled Canada. And I am Bear Clan, and I said, Yonko Yukwatono, or thank you, friends, for being here and joining today. So, as many of you may know, uh, Friday was Indigenous, what us old school people call is Indigenous Solidarity Day. The new trend is to call it Indigenous Peoples Day. So, which is, all fine. It's an acknowledgement of the day either way. Um, I think for me, the purpose of calling it Solidarity Day versus Indigenous Peoples Day is that I think that Indigenous Peoples Day tends to have that connotation that this is a day for specifically for and only for indigenous people. And it's really not that. It's again a way of building solidarity. It's a way for indigenous people to reclaim culture and our language and to share the knowledge of our teachings and our ancestors with everyone. And part of that is to allow the non indigenous people within that circle to come within that circle and to learn from us and understand how beautiful and diverse our cultures are. And part of the purpose in that is not only for them to understand how beautiful a people that we are and our culture, but that we are diverse. Because a lot of times the purpose of people having this perception of what indigenous people are is all based on Hollywood, right? The media. And so part of that means that you can have this idea that is really kind of not very accurate in relation to indigenous peoples of your own territory. And so that's part of why we have the Solidarity Day is to build that solidarity with people outside of the indigenous communities, educate them as well as reclaiming and passing on our teachings. And yes, I was streaming from my phone the other day, and I'm also going to share some of that because what happened on Solidarity Days, the temperatures in our city were at 40 degrees. And so my phone ended up overheating and it shut down on me. And so the stream ended a little quickly. And so I'm going to, so I had to essentially move to another phone that doesn't have data just to record. And so I'm going to share some of what I did or what we saw there with you today. And Dream On, Daydream, Dream On, Daydream. Thank you for being here, Yonko. Um, so that first part that you just heard is called "The Words Before All Others," and oftentimes people will ask me what it means because obviously it's in the Mohawk language, which many people don't speak unless you're Mohawk or your allies or connected to the Mohawk community in some way. So I'll read the English translation of that so that you know what you just heard. So it says, "We bring our minds together as one to give thanks for the people who are gathered here, that everyone was at peace here where we live on earth, so be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one to give thanks for Mother Earth. She has given us everything that we need to live in peace, so be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one to give thanks for the food plants. They help us when we are hungry, so be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one to give thanks for fruits, especially the strawberry, the head of the berry family. So be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one to give thanks for the grasses. Some we use as food, and some we collect as medicine. So be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one and give thanks for water, the rivers, the lakes, the oceans. That clean water keeps running all over the earth. So be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one to give thanks for fish. They give us strength so that we don't go hungry. So be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one to give thanks for medicines, that they still help us when we are sick. So be it in our minds. Bring our minds together as one to give thanks for the wild animals, that they still help us when we are cold and hungry. So be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one and give thanks to the trees, especially the maple, the head of the family tree, the head of the families, and that it creates sap as the Creator has made it to do. So be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one to give thanks for the birds, that they still sing, we still hear the nice singing that they bring. So be it in our minds, especially the eagle, the head of the bird family. We bring our minds together as one to give thanks to our grandfathers, the thunderers, that they make new waters. So be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one to give thanks for the four winds, that they still do what the Creator has asked them to do. So be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one and give thanks for our brother, the sun, that it still bright and warms the earth. So be it in our minds. We bring our minds together as one and give thanks to our grandmother, the moon, that she still is in charge of when children are born. So be it in our minds. And we bring our minds together as one to give thanks to the stars, that they dress the sky for our grandmother, the moon. So be it in our minds. And we bring our minds together as one to give thanks for the four messengers. Their job is to take care of the people. So be it in our minds. And we bring our minds together as one to give thanks to the Creator for everything that He has done for the people. So be it in our minds. That is called the words before all else, and it is something that's more commonly being shared before events, business meetings, even corporations, and it's a moment not only to give thanks and acknowledge the natural world that is around us, but also to give each of us who are in that gathering a moment to reflect on their place within the natural world and what we do as a human species to to care for and maintain uh, Mother Earth in a sustainable way. So, and also to interact with people from other nations in a productive and collaborative way. And I think that if we could all people take a message from that or a teaching from that, we could see that things like what's happening today would stop. We would not have Palestine. We would not have Ukraine or Sudan or all these other countries that are dealing with the same types of history that we have had to deal with. And so it's definitely a moment to reflect and position ourselves in a positive way whenever we can. So uh, we do periodically share that at the beginning of our gatherings here or the beginning of our streams so that we can share in that same thing. So now, what I will do next, let me go here. We'll build that and take that out. Is we'll get this started. What I want to first of all start with is what we call a an opening ceremony. Now, many of you will know if you've been here for any length of time that the elders that I speak with and consult with, who are kind of like mentors of mine, are Asianis Quay, or Dan and Mary Lou Smoke. They did recorded a number of ceremonies in my on my property for a domestic violence conference about a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago now. In any case, I'm going to play one of their opening ceremonies, and then we'll get into some discussion over the Solidarity Day. So let's get this started here.
Hey, we're back. Where I come from, when we greet one another, we say bonjour. So bonjour.
Bonjour.
Asan Yunis Koyan Dejnakas, Makwa Dodam, Bachwana Bay Dunjaba. I just shared my spirit name with you, which is Shooting Star Woman. I'm Bear Clan, and I originally come from Bachwana Bay, Ontario, which is on beautiful Lake Superior, and I'm very honored to be here to share some of the teachings that I've learned throughout my lifetime, and I spent most of my lifetime with Dan. We're going to be celebrating 44 years of marriage this summer, and we lived together for 5 years before that, so we were almost together 50 years. So here's Dan to introduce himself.
Where I come from, we say Sego. So, Sego.
Sego.
Asanenas and Dishnakaz, Kildare, Dodem, Six Nations, Grand River, Dinjaba. My spirit name is Asanenas. I'm a member of the Seneca Nation, Onondaga in my language, people of the hills. I'm a member of the Kildare clan, and I come from the Six Nations Grand River territory. We welcome you to this territory of Deshganzi Bay. This is the land of the Horn, Antler River, also known as Antler Water. And we want to welcome you in the spirit of our ancestors. We want to also say how pleased we are that you're all here to do this important work on this domestic homicide conference, where we are bringing our good minds together to see what future we can make. This is something that has been visited upon us because we've been here in this particular territory for about 15,000 years, and we never had that. That was not part of this tradition. So I just want to say we welcome you. We are very grateful, and we also want to acknowledge our host is Galihinde Ninham, who's from the Onyanta community just outside of London. Just want to acknowledge him. He's been a really good firekeeper. He put this sacred fire together, so it's been doing really good work for us. Also want to acknowledge also our sister Danielle, and Danielle is also here to help us in that good spirit in which she has been taught. And so she is our helper today to help us with the smudging, help us with, she helped me put this eagle staff up. Where is it? Over here. We dressed the eagle staff, which is a ceremonial undertaking, let me tell you. Anyways, just want to give greetings to all of you, welcome all of you, and I'm going to turn it back over to Mary Lou.
Stan. We're going to sing a song for you that we learned in the Sweat Lodge. As a matter of fact, all the songs we sing are songs that we learned in the Sweat Lodge. So we had to keep going back to those ceremonies to learn those songs. This song was taught to us by one of our teachers, Dr. Joe Couture, who is a Cree medicine man, as well as he was the first Indigenous person to receive a Doctor of Psychology. And he was one of the people who started up the Native Studies program at Trent University. So he taught us this song, and it's called the Eagle Song. Now we always honor the eagle. Each nation on Turtle Island has different teachings and different ways of doing things, but some things are universal. And what is universal is our respect for the eagle and all life. We believe that the eagle flies the highest, and we believe that wherever we are saying our prayers, the eagle comes to where we are and takes our prayers up to the sky world. So we always honor the eagle. So this is the Eagle Song.
Yeah, way, Jimmy Gretsch, Mary Lou, for that beautiful song.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, I remember Dr. Joe very, very well. A very good teacher. Anyways, I'd just like to acknowledge the new life energy that we're surrounded with right now at this time. All around us, there's new life coming into being because the next cycle of creation has begun. The maple sap that Mary Lou was talking about on the first day, that maple sap was the medicine that heralded the first beginning of the next cycle of creation. So right now, the leaves are shooting up, the leaves are being pushed out from the buds, the birds are singing early in the morning, not at their usual time, 4 o'clock. Now they're singing at 2 o'clock because they're little babies now. We're seeing four-leggeds, little four-leggeds all around us. We're even seeing the crawlers, sometimes coming right into the house if it gets too cold for them outside. But everything is coming alive. This cycle is about to begin, and it's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time to be out here. Hearing the birds around here, the bird songs are very special songs because they relate to the experience of life. And so we want to acknowledge that right here we can hear this. It's like a symphony, a symphonic orchestra of bird songs. And it's so beautiful because we're right next to the Descansi Bay River, and you can just hear the birds singing. That's what they do. They just sing for us. It's so beautiful, isn't it? So just wanted to acknowledge the beautiful birds. And they start early now. They usually start around 4 o'clock with the meadowlark, but now they're singing earlier because they're babies. Little baby birds are singing early because they're coming into life. They're learning how to sprout their voices, eh, Mary Lou? So just want to acknowledge that. And in closing, Chimigwech for this opening and taking part in it. Hopefully we all get started off in this good way and we'll finish off in a good way at the end of the day. Chimigwech, Nyawe, all my relations, Daneto, hi hi.
Matakiwasan. Hi, hi.
All right, so that was the opening ceremony. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I muted it so you wouldn't hear me sneezing. So yeah, so that's Oceanus Quay and Oceanus, otherwise known as Dan and Mary Lee Smoke. They do ceremony in and around our community in southwestern Ontario all the time. And so they've also been on my stream a number of times just to provide teachings and to answer questions that people may have about Indigenous culture or ceremony, etc. So I appreciate the generosity of their time, that they always do this and share. I welcome in Sigoli. Is it seriously? I'm guessing. If I'm not pronouncing that right, you can feel free to correct me. So today we're just kind of going over a couple of things. I Friday was Indigenous Solidarity Day, and we had an event here in London, and I started to stream it, but it was 40 degrees here Fahrenheit, or I'm sorry, 40 degrees Celsius here, so which I think is something like 107 degrees Fahrenheit, and my phone overheated and it shut down. It shut down on me, so I couldn't stream the whole thing. So I am going to share what we got. I'm going to start out. I've got some other stuff to kind of intermix with this. So I'm going to start out with a couple of the short dances that were done. So there was one called a smoke dance, which was the smoke dance women's dance. Um, I will start with, and then we'll go into the old style war dance, which is a men's dance, and then we'll do what we call a wannabe dance, and the wannabe dance is a dance where we welcome all the non-indigenous people to come out and dance. And so with the wannabe dance, what they essentially did is that they brought all the non-indigenous people who wanted to come out and dance to warm them up. They gave them a little practice, like a 1 minute practice to kind of with with some of the actual dancers, giving them guidance and advice on how to dance. And then they went into the full dance. And then with the full dance, they narrowed it down to 5 people. Then they had the 5 people dance off, and then the top 3 people actually got prizes. I think first place was $150, second place was $100, and then third place was $50. So, for the number of people that came out, it was, those are pretty nice prizes. So let me get this started. We'll start again with the smoke dance here.
So we'll give these dancers one more song. We'll see what the judges. Dancers, dancers need a water. All right, so here we go. Here we go. All right, so it looks like our dancers are ready. Here we go, old style war dance. Here we go, boys. Hands hard. All right, so it looks like our dancers get a quick drink of water, and we'll give them one super fast smoke dance song. All right, here we go.
to the host drum for this, I guess one time through first dunes and then hold the rest of the song and we'll come back to you. We'll pick finalists. And here we go. Okay. Spin. Don't forget to spin. You gotta spin.
Thank you, Leaping Larry, for the sub.
Okay, that was your tutorial. Your first round there, all by yourselves. So if we can get DJ, Mario, Liam, Denon, you want to go help judge? Judge, please. We'll get 5 judges, pick 5 finalists. 3, 4. Then need another judge. Grab another judge, Deej. I got him. You, Mario. Our head dancers. Our judges. What's your name, sir? Okay, we got 5 judges. You're going to pick 5 finalists after this song. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, they dance harder when you cheer on your favorite dancer. Boy, they're going for some few dollars here. This is pretty big dollars. Let's start them off with a round of applause for being brave enough to get out there. Not easy.
Again, if anyone's joined, just joined, the people who are out there dancing right now are non-Indigenous people, and this is a wannabe powwow dance.
Because sometimes a judge picks the one that you were going to pick. I've done this before. So have a couple ready on your repertoire of who is dancing hard, who is dancing on beat, who is dancing with spirit, who has a good style, and who's just having fun. Okay, back to the host drum. We're going to go.
It's like a competition dance. So first place person gets $150. Hold your spots. I think we'll let our judges slowly scout this out. Oh, you guys look like you've been doing this your whole life. That's pretty good. I love the theatrics with the hands. I think that's new to me. I've never seen like this. Really sacred, these guys. Holy. Okay, judges, amongst yourselves, I guess you could gather, or you got some ideas of the top 5. We're going to dance off. We'll go over to Nahi singers. And I know who my favorite were, but Hey Mario.
How's it going?
All right.
Good on, Mario. This is a great gathering.
okay, we got some selected here. If you're selected, come on up to the front here.
So I guess they're picking the top five, and the top five people have to do a dance off.
All right, we got five. Is that five? One more. There's some. Okay. The sun hat. Okay. We have five finalists. Let's everyone give these other dancers a round of applause for coming on out here. And these finalists, get a drink of water. I'm going to let the judges tell DJ if we want 2 times through or a full song. Top dollar, they may have to earn it. Full song. Okay, we're going to go full song for the finals for the 2024 Wannabe Contest Workley Village.
So they're doing a full song, which means it's just one competition, one song. Normally what they will sometimes do is 2 short songs or 2-part songs so that they can take a drink in between each section, because it's pretty hot. It's 40 degrees here, so some of these people in these outfits are going to be boiling. And
spread them out, DJ. They don't keep them all bunched out.
I can't imagine being out there at 40 degrees weather dancing with the clothes that some of these are wearing.
Okay.
Welcome in, Vaccine.
These people have caught their breath. They're going to show us a move or two, and we're going to pick first, second, and third. And I think we have.
So this event was hosted by a local organization called Atlas Indigenous Family Healing Center, and they do this every year. So these current dancers that are out there right now are non-Indigenous dancers who are competing for first prize of $150, second prize of $100, and third prize $50.
Okay, who wants it? Who wants it? Spin, let's spin. Yeah, yeah. Push up here, last push up. Turn it on. What do you got left? What do you got left? Here we go. Finale.
So that was so much fun watching them on Friday. And I again, it was so hot, you wouldn't believe, and there was no way that I was going out there to dance in the weather that was there. It was I applaud them for having the ability to go out there and do that in 40 degrees Celsius, which is like, I think it's like 107 Fahrenheit. Um, so I was, by the time I got home, because I walked home, my shirt was just drenched with sweat, and I didn't even dance. So I just can't imagine how they felt by the time they got home. Um, but that was the wannabe dance. Then we did the smoke dance, and we did the old style. Now, I have a couple clips here I'm going to show just before I get into the next one. So this, first of all, is a segment on National Indigenous History Month and when it started, and then there's a little clip here about three Indigenous fashion designers who talk about what Indigenous fashion is, and then we'll get back into a couple more of the social dance. We got the social dance, we got a two-step dance, a side step, and then we have an intertribal um, and dance to share. And also, we'll probably share um, a couple of song teachings so that you can perhaps learn a song or two. So if you have a drum or if you have something that you can bang on, or even a rattle or a shaker, just to kind of sing along with the songs that come up later, um, uh, get those ready. In the meantime, we'll get into this here next clip.
Each year in June, Canada officially celebrates National Indigenous History Month. And one day in that month, June 21st, is National Indigenous Peoples Day. So, what's this month all about? And when did it, along with the day, first start? Let's get into it. I'm Isabel DeRoy Olson, and this is Can Explains National Indigenous History Month. National Indigenous History Month became an official celebration in 2009, but National Indigenous Peoples Day goes back a little further, so let's start there. Okay, Kids News graphic designer, let's cue up the timeline! In 1982, the organization now called the Assembly of First Nations suggested establishing a National Aboriginal Solidarity Day. As Mary Jane Logan McCallum, a professor of history at the University of Winnipeg, explains,
National Indigenous Peoples Day is steeped in kind of late 20th century Indigenous peoples pushing for recognition of rights, including treaty rights in Canada. And so Native people came together, especially in like 1981 across Canada, and did this Solidarity Day in November. And then the next year, that's when the National Indian Brotherhood says, let's have a day and we're going to pick, June.
But it wasn't until 1990 that any government in Canada established anything official. That was when the province of Quebec established a day to celebrate Indigenous culture. Fast forward 5 years, a group of Indigenous and non-Indigenous spiritual leaders called the Sacred Assembly and another body called the Royal Commission on Aboriginal Peoples both call for a day to recognize Indigenous peoples. On June 13, 1996, Governor-General Romeo LeBlanc announced the government's intention to have an annual National Day of celebration for Indigenous peoples. 8 days later, on June 21, 1996, Canada officially celebrated its first National Aboriginal Day. Now let's jump way ahead to 2007, when Dr. McCallum says,
Aboriginal History Month was actually a suggestion of an organization called the RAPA, the Regina Aboriginal Professionals Association. And their executive kind of came together and started a kind of campaign, emailing and letter writing to government officials to try to have a whole month dedicated to understanding Indigenous history. And they were successful at the city level in Regina, and then at the provincial level in 2007.
As a result, in 2009, the House of Commons unanimously passed a motion to make the month of June National Aboriginal History Month. And the most recent date on our timeline, 2017, is when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau changed the names to National Indigenous Peoples Day and National Indigenous History Month. This was to reflect a national and international preference for the term Indigenous over Aboriginal. Okay, so there's your crash course timeline of how this month and day officially became celebrations. So now that we know how it started, let's get into what it actually is. So you might notice the word history in National Indigenous History Month. That's a pretty big clue of what this month is all about. Eldon Yellowhorn, an author and professor at Simon Fraser University, says the month
is intended to have topics that are related to Indigenous people and their history with Canada.
He thinks it's important to note that
we don't owe our existence to Canada. Our people and cultures were around long before Canada was formed, and the last 155 years that we've been citizens of Canada is only a small fraction of our entire history here.
Indigenous history in North America and Canada dates back thousands of years, long before settlers arrived.
Some argue 20,000 years, some argue to time immemorial, some argue like 5,000 to 7,000 years. But like there is an enormous amount of time. And if we think about the time since contact, we've got like maybe 400 years, 500 years in certain places in Canada. And I think that, yeah, like we have to start to think about that time period as part of our history in Canada as well.
So the month
is a way of introducing ourselves to Canadians and enlightening people on our history and cultures and traditions.
And learning about those traditions, history, and culture is so much more varied than learning about a single history.
That's a mistaken impression given, 500 or so years ago. And it's one that has tended to meld all Indigenous people under one term, one umbrella term, and that's Indian. So people talk about an Indian culture as if there is one culture that encompasses all Indigenous people.
There are so many different cultures and people that make up the term Indigenous, and each has its own distinct history and culture. An amazing example that Dr. Yellowhorn gave us was
archaeoastronomy is basically the way that Indigenous people use the night sky and also how they organized the celestial objects that they saw. And so in Blackfoot tradition, the sky is a separate realm, the sky world. Like the Milky Way, we refer to as the Wolf Road, and this is told in our story about the sky wolves who came down from the sky country to help people live better on the earth. And then when they went back to the sky country, that Wolf Road is the path that they took to come down from the sky and to go back to the sky country. And as they were leaving the earth to go back to the sky country, the last gift that they left with humans was the gift of song. And so the way that we sing at powwows, the powwow music, it's all about wolf howls. It's inspired by wolf howls.
So whether you know about Indigenous history or just starting to learn, Dr. Yellowhorn thinks,
well, I'll just say it out loud. They've been ignorant about Indigenous cultures. And the month of June, in Indigenous History Month, gives us that opportunity to consciously look at Indigenous people and to find out what our cultures are and what our contributions to Canada are.
And Dr. McCallum says that history and contribution are rich and complex.
It seems like this history of the day and the month are also connected to our emotions about the past. They're either celebrating or they're, mourning. And those are the only two, and it can be one or the other. So I want to think about a kind of more complex understanding of history that isn't just celebrating, this one individual, right? Or being really mournful about this one particular event.
And there's celebrations happening all across the country. There's summer solstice festivals and celebration in education in schools. There's also powwows like the one traditional jingle dancer Chanel High Eagle goes to each year.
I've been going to the events at the Forks with my family since I think I was about 11 or 12. For me, like, I dance jingle, and that's a healing dance. So when I'm dancing, I'm praying for myself and my family and my community. And powwow is just, there's categories of dance, and there's different stories of each dance. And so yeah, powwows are just a really good place to come together as a community and to welcome outsiders too. We're very welcoming people. It's a beautiful thing to experience as well. I invite anybody, and whether you're Indigenous or not Indigenous, I invite you to come out. You'll learn so much and you'll experience so much, and you'll meet new people, and that's always a fun thing.
But as with other months dedicated to learning about history and culture, is 1 month really enough?
Well, I think it's something that is an ongoing process, so it can't be confined to simply 1 month. However, by putting 1 month aside to consciously make that effort does highlight the fact that, you know, there's these people there, but it shouldn't be just 1 month that the process of knowing each other, that should be an ongoing process for the whole year.
What could that kind of year-round process look like? Dr. McCallum points to another country as an example.
I wondered about New Zealand, right? They decided they were going to, restructure the curriculum in New Zealand to fundamentally involve Indigenous history. So that grades 1 to 10 was going to have Indigenous history throughout. And Indigenous history was going to be a fundamental part of understanding New Zealand history.
Even though Canada and New Zealand are two different countries with different Indigenous cultures and dynamics, it's not hard to see why history that dates back thousands and thousands of years takes more than 1 month to really understand and learn about. National Indigenous History Month is a great chance to have some intentional learning, celebration, and conversation around Indigenous history and Canadian history. I hope you take some time to learn more about Canada's history and Indigenous peoples and cultures. That's it for KN Explains. For CBC Kids News, I'm Isabel Joy Olson. Chimigwech, bye! We spoke to some wonderful people who helped us with this video. Eldon Yellowhorn is an archaeologist, professor, and founding chair of Indigenous Studies at Simon Fraser University. Mary Jane McCallum is a professor of history and Canada Research Chair in Indigenous Studies at the University of Winnipeg. Chanel High Eagle is a traditional jingle dancer from Roseau River Anishinaabe First Nation. We also referenced information from the Government of Canada, the Regina Sun, the Canadian Encyclopedia, Shikon Nietzsche, and CBC.
From the res to the streets, Indigenous fashion is having a moment. I'm going to introduce you to 3 people who are leading this movement today. Meet the fashionista.
How I weave Indigenous culture into my everyday fashion. 1, I'm Indigenous, so anything I wear. Just kidding.
Right? Yeah. The street icon.
For me, it's a way to express yourself. It kind of opened my eyes to what's possible and what's out there.
And the designer to the stars.
It's just a cool way to celebrate our lineage, our heritage, our mothers, our matriarchs that we come from.
And welcome to Toronto, Treaty 13 territory. There's a lot of hustle and bustle, and it seems like everyone's always wearing the latest trends. Of course, Indigenous people have always been fashionable, but these 3 leaders are using fashion in new ways. They're making a statement or starting a conversation. Yeah. Join us as we weave together these stories to tell one journey.
We're in Toronto, let's go.
I'm Sophia Smoke, and this is CBC Kids News.
When I say I'm Shayla Olette Stonechild, that's representing like my bloodlines and my lineage and my family.
Can you give us your best modeling pose and face right now?
God.
Go for it.
No, I'm kidding. That was a joke.
So the first question is, what goes through your mind when modeling?
Honestly, before I go onto stage, I say a little prayer and I call upon like my ancestors that are healthy in a good way. And then I feel like I just channel their energy. So it takes away like any kind of fear or self-doubt because it's not just about me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm used to
Let
like
me
pageant.
try. Let me try.
And then go like this.
I don't know if it looks that good on me, but it looks great on her. Yeah. So what to you defines Indigenous fashion, and what about it is so hot right now?
One thing that defines Indigenous fashion for me is that it's not a trend. It's actually a part of our culture, and it represents and expresses where we come from within our communities. And so when you talk about Indigenous fashion, I think you have to be more specific on where it's coming from, who's creating it, what are they sourcing, what is their artistic expression through creating that piece of art, that piece of fashion.
What is the best piece of advice, or fashion advice more specifically, for a young person who wants to elevate their style but isn't sure where to start?
I think if you're wanting to elevate your style, what part of your story are you looking to elevate? And how does that relate to how you show up? And so me and you, we might have completely different stories and different sets of styles. So how do you embody your story through what you're wearing right now?
At the foundation, I'm a husband, I'm a dad, and I'm a designer.
Why did you start designing clothes, and why specifically streetwear?
I mean, that's a really good question because it's been quite a while since I started. But I've always been into clothes, and when I first started making t-shirts and just kind of redesigning old hockey logos for my reserve. And so it was kind of something that represented where I came from, and there was some nostalgia to it. And there wasn't really a whole lot of streetwear brands from our community at the time when I started, and I wanted to create something that resonated with me, and so I kind of just went ahead and started the brand.
Tell me, where does the name Section 35 come from and its importance?
Section 35 was inspired by Section 35 of the Constitution, and that's kind of the piece that recognizes and enshrines our treaty rights and our Indigenous rights in the Canadian Constitution. It was something that I kept hearing elders talking about, Section 35, and it sounded really cool for a brand, and there was some meaning to it. There was an undertone for conversation. And
for fashion, one thing I've learned today is that it's a way to educate, and it's a way to start conversations, which is something that I didn't even consider before starting this project. So that's really cool that we see that with your brand specifically.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it comes from just our community's culture, language, even just the land, the seasons, colors, you know, just about everything in the day. Like, and so you'll see inspiration from the powwow trail, political, and then just fun sarcasm, you know, the native humor that we have. So I try to weave all of that stuff into what we do.
Do you have one short message that you want the Indigenous youth to hear?
I think take a chance on yourself, but also don't forget where you come from. I didn't think, my auntie always used to tell me it's hard to get to where you're going if you don't know where you came from. You know, don't change for anybody.
I am a designer, an artist, a sister, just someone who's trying to make the world a better place.
So what is Indigenous fashion to you?
I would say Indigenous art and expression is storytelling. The way that us as designers, and specifically Indigenous designers, the attention to detail that we put into our work is a way of telling stories. And I think fashion is so beautiful in the way that it's something that everyone interacts with on a daily basis. So that storytelling and that good energy that we're putting into the clothing, I really hope that the wearer can feel, and even viewers of the collection, viewers of runway shows can feel that as well.
So you've dressed some big stars in Hollywood, like Lily Gladstone.
Yeah, I have been so lucky with my red carpet moments, but it's kind of crazy because Hollywood works so quickly that you really get a call on a Monday and you have to dress the client maybe by the Friday. But once the stars align and you're able to dress someone like Lily, or we dressed Devery Jacobs for the Primetime Emmy Awards, it's such a beautiful moment to see Indigenous fashion take up space for a major red carpet like that.
So what is one word you want people to feel when they wear your clothes?
I really hope people feel a sense of neutralization and feeling like, yes, this is my body and this is the only one I'm going to have, so I'm going to put love into it. And even on days where maybe my body image or self-esteem is not at 100%, I still have grace with myself. And I want my clothing to remind people of that grace, and remind people to be nice to them, nice to their bodies, nice to themselves, and nice to the people around them.
Each person today said the same thing. It's about making a statement. We've seen it all throughout Indigenous history. Fashion has always been used to tell a story. So what story do you want to tell the world? Thanks for joining us here at CBC Kids News. I'm Sophia Swope, signing off. 3 words to describe what I saw tonight. It was storytelling, it was authentic, and it was deadly.
Okay. Well, that was a perspective on fashion, and it's kind of funny. The first designer who said, "I'm indigenous. Whatever I wear is indigenous clothing." It reminds me of um, the conversation we have about music. People often say, "Well, what is indigenous music?" And indigenous music is music made by indigenous peoples. Now, we can have elements of traditional sound within our music and still be contemporary. Music does not necessarily um, exist only with hand drums, powwow drums, and shakers. We're much more modern than that nowadays. But yeah, it's just, clothing might have a little bit of a little different take on it as far as that is. But so we'll get back to on Friday again for those of you who just joined. Friday was Solidarity Day, and I went to an event here in town. It was 40 degrees out, and people were dancing. And so we got some clips. Now I did try to actually stream it live, but because of the heat, my phone overheated and shut down on me in the midst of a dance. So we'll just keep sharing what we were able. I was able to use another phone to get a couple of other dances in it, but we'll get here. Let's go with we'll do the side step, and then we'll share a social dance, and then I'll share a couple of song teachings here for you. So just, let's get this going.
Right. Sidestep the Eagle Plate style. Class act. Looking good. All you dancers out there. Beating the heat. Having a good time. Nahi singers, report to your drum. So any of our 17 and under dancers registered, bring your parents up here and come and sign for your honorarium. getting ready, we're going to have a two-step. Head dancers, you're getting ready, we're going to have a two-step. Oh, I seen that. Wish that stopped. So again, 17 and under, come and have an adult come sign for your honorarium up here. But in the meantime, as we're winding things down, we're going to ask our head dancers to lead us in a two-step. We just ask the host drum to finish it off here this afternoon with a two-step, and we're going to take the flags out. So find your significant other, a good friend, also known as the rabbit dance. This two-step is just that, you know, you're hand in hand and you'll follow through. If the lead dancers will lead you in a pattern around the circle. Used to be a rule where if a boy or a girl, a man or woman had, or whatever, had come and asked you to dance and you refused, you have to provide gift, honorarium, and in these contemporary times, it was always known as $5. You know, you didn't want to dance with that one that was looking at you, checking you out. You'd say, okay, here's $5. But these things kind of diminished. They don't exist anymore. So you can't say no. If somebody asks you to dance, you gotta come and dance, and that's just a respectful thing to do. So let's get our dancers fall in behind the head dancers here. We're gonna have a two-step, and DJ's giving them a 101 because these guys are young people. They might not have seen some of the patterns and some of the flow that happens with the two-step. There's a lot of creative things you can do, a lot of footwork, spinning, not fast spinning, but just turns in a swift, smooth motion, holding hands sometimes, going backwards sometimes. DJ knows. It's like snake, like shedding the snake in a snake dance each. And then create the tunnel of love. And that's why we're here, all about love. This is a way of snagging on at powwows, at two-step. It was always fun. Just hope she comes and asks you to two-step. Or hope she doesn't come and ask you to two-step. Now you just text somebody and say, hey, will you two-step later? You want a two-step later? Our head dancers are heading over to the shade, so all of our two-steppers fall in behind them. We're going to have our host drum round it off with a two-step. There it is, real easy. 1, 2, 1, 2, easy steps. Stay on feet. and stay there and create the tunnel. Oh my God. Where's the police? Somebody call the cops on you guys. All right, they got it. They got it. There we go. Smells like bologna, Indian girl, the best kind. Back up, make the circle big, make the circle big. We got a lot of dances. Beautiful, beautiful, yeah. Here we go, here we go. Pick it up, Nahi. Pick it up, Nahi. We're gonna keep going, keep going.
Oh yeah. There. Let me get back over here. So that was the social dance, and we saw the two-step. I'm going to save the tribal dance for a little bit later. What I was going to do next, I'm going to share a couple of song teachings. So if you happen to have a drum and want to join in, certainly feel free to do so. I'm going to start this out with a teaching from a singer and songwriter named Tara Williamson. And because June, for most people are aware, and for most cultures, is what we call has the strawberry moon. And as such, we wanted to celebrate by learning the strawberry song. So we'll get this started here. And this is she's going to explain the entire song, and then she will sing it through. And then if you want to have your drums ready and join in, that would be great. If you just want to listen and learn, that's cool, okay too. But let's get this started.
Anin Buju Tanse, Tara Williamson Dijnakaz, Gabashkigama, Gayo Pasquak, and Dunjiba. My name is Tara Williamson. I'm a member of the Opaskwayak Cree Nation, and I was raised in Swan Lake, Manitoba, which is in Treaty 1 territory. Right now, I'm speaking to you from Victoria, British Columbia, which is the unceded territory of the Lekwungen and Wasanich-speaking peoples. And I'm here today to teach you a song that's partially in my language, which is Anishinaabe or Ojibwe, and also in English. So the song I'm going to teach to you today is called Ode Mingisis. And Ode Mingisis translates to strawberry moon. The Anishinaabe keep track of the seasons by the moons, and so there are 13 moons every year, and Ode Mingisis is usually in June, and it marks the arrival of strawberries. So the word Ode Min comes from the word Ode, which means your heart, and Minan, which means berry. So strawberry means heartberry. And you'll notice I'm wearing really pretty heartberry earrings. And the word Gisis means moon, but also can mean sun, depending how you use it. So the word for our strawberry moon is Ode Mingisis, and again, this song is named after it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you the words in Anishinaabe and how to say them and how to sing them. And then I'm going to sing the whole song for you so you can hear how it all goes together. So the song is constructed that it starts with a chorus, and then there is a verse, and then there's the chorus, and then a verse, and it ends with two choruses. And the chorus is in Anishinaabe or Ojibwe, and the second verse is also in Anishinaabe or Ojibwe. So I'm going to start by teaching you the chorus, and then I'm going to teach you the second verse, and then I'm going to sing the whole song for you. So the chorus goes like this. Ode Mingisis, Ambe Oma. So we already learned Ode Mingisis means strawberry moon, and Ambe means come, and Oma means here. So it means come here. So we're asking the strawberry moon to come here. So it's Ode Mingisis, Ambe Oma. And the melody goes like this. Ode Mingisis, Ambe Oma. Ode Mingisis, Ambe Oma. Ode Mingisis, Ambe Oma. Ambe Oma. Ambe Oma. So that chorus gets repeated every time we sing the chorus. And one of the things that's important to remember about the strawberry moon is that the strawberry, again, ode, the heartberry, strawberries are in the shape of a heart. And they're the first berry that ripens where I'm from every year. And they come after a very long winter. And so strawberries and heartberries and the strawberry moon represent kindness and friendship and sweetness and love. And so when we sing the song, we want to remember those things. The second verse invites our friends and our family to come and celebrate Ode Mengises with us. So these words are a little more difficult, but you can always stop and restart or go forward in the video if you want to learn them better. And so these words are Nichiwaganak Nidinawe. So Nichiwaganak means our friends. Nichiwagan is a friend. Nichiwaganak is more than one friend. Sometimes you'll hear people say Nichi, which just is a shortened way to say friend. And Nidinawe is family. So the words are Nichiwaganak, Nidinawe. So I'll play just that part. Nichiwaganak, Nidinawe. And then the next words are Nishime, Gaye, Nimose. Nishime means our younger sibling, so it's any gender, our younger sibling. Gaye means and. Nimose is our older sibling. So we're asking our younger siblings and our older siblings as well to come in. Nishime, Gaye, Nimose. And then the last word in that verse is bindigeg. And we repeat that word. So bindigeg means everybody come in. So all together, it goes Nichiwaganak, Nichiwaganak, Nidinawe, Nishime, Gaye Nimose, bindigeg. Nichiwaganak, Nidinawe, Nishime, Gaye Nimose, bindigeg, oh bindigeg, bindigeg, oh bindigeg. And then we sing the chorus again. So those are all of the Anishinaabe words. There's one other verse that's in English, but I'm not going to explain it to you. But we're going to do a full recording of the song now, and hopefully you can sing along with the pronunciation at the bottom.
We're going to sing a song. This song is called the Water Song, and we would like to teach you this song because water is very important. It's very important that we take care of the water for the next 7 generations to come, so the children will have water and our grandchildren will have water. So all the people before us did this. They taught the children the songs and the teachings, and so that's why we're here to help teach you. So this song is really simple to learn, but if you can't remember it, you can go to YouTube and key in my name, Mary Lou Smoke, and I'm singing a couple verses of it on YouTube. So this is called the Water Song. So your assignment is that you have to teach this song to one person younger than you and talk to them about the importance of the water. Wichita, do ya, do ya, do ya. Wichita, do ya, do ya, hey. Wichita, do ya, do ya, do ya. Wichita, do ya, do ya, hey. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey. Now that was pretty simple, right? So let's try the second verse. Wichita, do ya, do ya, do ya. Wichita, do ya, do ya, hey. Wichita, do ya, do ya, do ya. Wichita, do ya, do ya, hey. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey. Wichita, do ya, do ya, do ya. Wichita, do ya, do ya, hey. Wichita, do ya, do ya, do ya. Wichita, do ya, do ya, hey. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey. Now we're going to sing the last verse like our life depends upon water. Wichita, do ya, do ya, do ya. Wichita, do ya, do ya, hey. Wichita, do ya, do ya, do ya. Wichita, do ya, do ya, hey. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, Tanea, hey ya, hey. Whoa, Matakawasan. All right. All my relations.
No way.
Bonjour, Nishi Migwanek Nindigo, Wajash Nendo Dem, Ani Sadako Nindoji, Audrey Deroy Nindigenous. This next song is called Anishinaabe Kwe, and this song talks about our ancestors, our grandmothers are watching us as we practice our cultural ways, as we honor our dotems, that we dance with our dotems, that we, invite everyone to join us, and to not forget about our ancestors, and that we believe that the spirit world and our ancestors exist in another dimension, and that our ancestors still have the power and the ability to influence us. It's in our blood, our ancestral knowledge, and our ancestors have fought for what we have today, and they've also instilled that knowledge within us. So that's what this song's all about. It's about honoring our dotems and where we come from. Aha miigwech. Bojo Nishimigo Nicknindigo, Wajash Nendo Dem, Anizada Kinindoji, Audrey Deroy Indigenous Cause. This next song is called the Strong Woman Song, and the song was created by Maggie Paul, and she is Mi'kmaq, and she sang this song outside of Kingston Penitentiary to help give the woman strength and hope that were in there, and so that the woman, because she heard that some of the women, particular one woman, was feeling very suicidal, and she felt that she had to do something. So this song came to her, and this song, she would stand outside the penitentiary and she would sing the song over and over again until she felt that, she was being heard. So it's a powerful song, and the song gives you hope and makes you want to stand back up again, when you've fallen down on your knees. And so this song is powerful, and I thank Maggie Paul for sharing this song with us. Aha miigwech.
I hope everyone was I hope everyone was singing along. I kind of lost track of where I was at a couple of times there, but that last song. But it was fun. I enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it too. So next, what we'll do is we'll watch the last dance that we have. This is an intertribal dance, which is one that welcomes um, all people in to participate. And it was I think it was a fun one to watch, and I'm sure if it wasn't so hot, it was really be fun to dance to as well. And then I want to share before we do the closing ceremony. I want to share a song by an artist named Leanne Simpson. Leanne Simpson is an Anishinaabe singer who wrote a song called Leaks. Um, and the song basically tells the story of a young um, indigenous girl who had to face racism in school, and it does still happen these days, as we can all probably attest to. Anyone from any marginalized group can attest to that. Prejudice and racism is still strong on Turtle Island in some segments of society, and we need to um, keep that discussion open and ensure that it's not normalized. So I am going to um, share this one, share the intertribal. Then we'll get right into the song by Leanne Simpson, and then we'll talk before I we do the closing ceremony. So let's get this started. This is the intertribal.
Intertribal.
I wasn't sure how my connection would work out here, but it seems to be fine for now. We're expecting some rain pretty shortly, so I'm guessing they'll probably maybe do a few more songs before they start wrapping up. The drum is up on that stage there. I think they're mic'd as well.
Pull up your spots. It was a surprise spot dance. We had some gifts donated. $10 surprise bag for a boy and a $10 surprise bag for a girl. We got a couple dancers coming out to pick a spot. Crazy Kids Creation is donating the spot dance. Thank you. We're very generous. Again, volunteers, come on up here. They can give us a hand real quick here, volunteers. In the blue shirts. Shania. Okay. Okay, we're gonna keep it going with Nahi here. We're maybe put out a couple more spot dances here.
Fun watching the young ones because they seem to have a lot more energy to put into this.
No spots selected, guys. We got kind of busy up here. I apologize. We're going to go back to Eagle Flight for Intertribal, and we'll have some spots picked. And those winners will be able to come up here and grab a gift off of our gift blanket. Again, volunteers all the time asking, now what, now what? Well, now's the time. We need some volunteers up here.
The Eagle Flight drummers are from Chippewas of the Thames First Nations, which is actually basically right beside my nation, which is the Onondaga of the Thames. So they're quite popular around this area. They get asked to do things like this all the time.
I'll ask Nahi to pick 4 spots to come up and grab a gift off the blanket. Spots there. We have Nahi singers going to pick 4 spots, 4 people. Right now, let's go grab 4 winners, and they're going to be able to come up and grab something off the giveaway blanket up here. And just so everyone knows, Graham's Kitchen, everybody's Auntie Marianne Pichko, she's got that food service, delivers and has an area in Oneida. She's just donated $100 for a spot dance coming up here. Holy cow, ever generous. So, come celebrate second anniversary with us. There will be lots of prizes won. Just for following on their page, 3 free tickets, 1 more every $5. Your order, there will also possibly be a chance to win your order. Okay. Bring your family, friends, and help us show you how much we appreciate your business. They got some good grease at Graham's Kitchen. All right. Very generous, Marianne. Every year she comes up here with something to offer. That's how these things work, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Generosity. Really nice. So I'm going to let Marianne pick that spot for $100.
Well, you can't learn if you don't get in line.
Right where Alex is sitting, that spot there. Did all our winners get a gift, DJ? All right. Good job, everybody. So you're going to want to stay out there. This next one's a lottery. $100 going up here. She's going to let someone know where her spot is, and then she's going to offer this over to you. And again, if you want any more information on Graham's Kitchen, come on up here. These opportunities are June 22nd, 23rd, 11 till 6 o'clock, both days. Graham's Kitchen on social media.
I live in the area that they call Canada, yes. Where I live is the dish with 1 spoon treaty territory, which
is part of the area that we call southwestern Ontario down into what is now called the state of New York. Taylor, thank you for the follow.
Dirt road, open windows, beautiful one, too perfect for this world. The immediacy of mosquitoes, humidity choking breath, my beautiful singing bird. 5-year-old Gichidakwe, crying silent, petrified tears in the back seat until the dam finally bursts. You are the breath over the ice on the lake. You are the one the grandmothers sing to through the rapids. You are the saved seeds of allies. You are the space between embraces. She's always going to remember this. You are rebellion, resistance, reimagination. Her body will remember. You are dug-up roads, 27-day standoffs, the foil of industry prospectors. She can't speak about it for a year, which is 1/6 of her life. For every one of your questions, there's a story hidden in the skin of the forest. Use them as flint, fodder, love songs, medicine. You are from a place of unflinching power, the holder of our stories, the one who speaks up. The chance for spoken up words drowned in ambush. You are not a vessel for white settler shame, even if I am the housing that failed you.
Oye, siguli swagwag, gala hindi niya gets, wagisli wagi, ni wak dolora, oni dog, ngwahmunege. So that was a song again, of course, by, as you can see in the chat, Leanne Simpson. And it was part of a book of poetry she wrote that was also um, transitioned into musical releases on her album. And so I hope you enjoyed that. We are near the end of our stream. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to share the closing ceremony again by Dan and Mary Lou Smoke as they um, close this out. Uh, Once I play the closing ceremony, we will also play a version of The Peaceful Warrior as we do with the end of all of our streams. You know what? It's a long middle name, audio, and I cannot remember how to pronounce it off the top of my head. But it's a long name starting with B, like beta something or other. Um, but yeah, I it's a it's a tongue twister of a name. So we'll play the closing ceremony. We'll play a rendition of the Peaceful Warrior as we do at the end of all of our streams, and then we'll look for some of the raids. So I hope that you will all stick around. When the last song is playing and I put in the raid calls, I will hope that you will each copy a raid call that's applicable to you and join us. Even if you have to raid and run, at least just come over and say hi to the next streamer, and then we'll kind of go from there. But in the meantime, this is Dan and Mary Lou doing our closing ceremony.
So we had some really good times together these last couple days, and we've shared a lot about the teachings that we've learned. We shared about our water, we shared about the sap, we shared about the seeds and the planting, and we shared a little bit of ceremony and songs. And another thing we're going to share is about our strawberries. The strawberry is a very important medicine to our people. It was also the first food that was available after the snow melted. So I often think about how our people were so happy to receive those berries when they were grown and ready to be picked. And my ancestors would go out there and pick those berries and then bring them in, and we would have ceremonies with them, and the people would just be so happy eating those berries, and they would be receiving the nourishment. So we're hoping that you have received some nourishment from what we've been talking about, and we'll be putting a berry in the fire just at the end of the ceremony, and maybe you'll be able to get a berry someplace to celebrate with us.
Yeah, we'll eat one too for you.
We'll sacrifice that.
Okay.
We always feed the fire first because this is where our ancestors are. They're all around us when we light up that smudge. And so we always make the first offering of food to the fire. When we have our feasts, no matter what we have a lot of feasts, but we always make a spirit plate. And before anybody else eats, that spirit plate is prayed over, and tobacco's put on there, and then it's taken to the sacred fire so that the spirits get to eat before we do, because they help us, they nourish us as well.
Yeah, Nyawa for that teaching, Mary Lou. Yes, I just wanted to close with a short Thanksgiving. This beautiful Wanisleo, this beautiful day, we acknowledge the water. The water is the lifeblood of Mother Earth. Nothing would survive without the water. Water still following her sacred instructions. We want to acknowledge our Mother Earth, that other feminine sacred element of life that all creation needs in order to survive. She's still following her sacred instructions. We want to acknowledge our Father Sky, who represents the air. That breath of life breathes life into all creation. Nothing would survive without our Father Sky. We want to acknowledge our eldest brother, the Sun, who represents fire. He travels, he provides us with heat, he provides us with light. That fire is life. So we want to acknowledge that nothing would survive without our Father, without our eldest brother, the Sun, Who's still following his sacred instructions as well, grandfather, grandmother, so be it, in our minds. We want to acknowledge our grandmother Moon. We want to acknowledge that she's still looking after all female life, and she still takes care of the water. The water is still looked after by our grandmother Moon. We also want to acknowledge the stars, for they tell us when it's time for us to conduct our ceremonies of Thanksgiving. It's so important to do Thanksgiving ceremonies. It's so simple, but it's so important. And the stars tell us when it's time to do that. We want to acknowledge the thunder beings. The thunder beings continue to follow their sacred instructions. They woke us up when the cycle of creation began. Now we're into this cycle. They are the ones who bring the purifying rains that cleanse and purify Mother Earth. And they also give Mother Earth a drink. We also want to acknowledge the protectors, those 4 protectors. They work with the Creator. They work with our spirit helpers. We all have spirit helpers. Our spirit helpers during these days of this conference are all working with each other, are all helping each other, getting to know each other, the same way that we have been as two-legged human beings. So we acknowledge that the spirit helpers are doing their work. They help us with our faith. They help us with our belief systems. So we acknowledge the spirit helpers. We also want to acknowledge Sagwayo Dizo, Gijamenedo, the creator, the maker of our bodies, for everything that she has put here for us in a rhythm of life that works in a sequential way for life to begin again and go home and then begin again, so that the cycle of creation continues to go on and on and on. And so all we have to do is be part of that and acknowledge it, that we're just journeying. We're just on this journey. And we're only here for a short time as human beings. But when it's time, we came from the spirit world, we're going to go home to the spirit world. So we just want to acknowledge, in the spirit of our ancestors, all my relations, Daneto, Hai Hai, Mentakiwasan, Kanigana, Sagwayo Diesel.
Matakiwasan, Daneto, hi hi.
Dark Native has been streaming for exactly 1 year, Galiundi, and he has made the Twitch world such a better place. He collaborates, he shares, he teaches me and everybody else around him so much about Indigenous culture, Indigenous ways, Indigenous wisdom. Holy cow, dandelion roots, who knew? I'm playing this because these are his lyrics, and this is my way of saying thank you back to him for all that he's done in this past year. I'm feeling kind of crazy. Here goes. I'm feeling wild. Doesn't work. My name's Posey and I'm a wolf for peace. Oh, there it is. I started in the wrong place. This is Dark Natives, Peaceful Warrior. Now we'll start for real. Except I missed it. Here comes. My name's Posey and I'm a war for peace. All senseless attacks I see must cease. So what am I doing here and what do I want to say? Is that this world's gotta change its way. Gonna battle for the red, white, yellow, and black. Gonna fight for the ones who can't fight back. And I'm talking about the creatures from the water to the sky. About the issues from the earth to the lights. I'm looping it tonight. I'm gonna make my stand with a paper and a pen. Wanna argue that, go back to bed again. 'Cause you're never gonna win against what I stand for. So sit down and listen as I give the grand tour. I'm gonna target corruption in our government, target the poison in our environment. I'm gonna target injustice to the people. I'm gonna hit every target or I won't keep still. I'm gonna battle the battle of all battles, shake up the cage until it rattles. 'Cause you're never gonna get rid of me, not until the problems of the world are cut at the knee. Let me cut this out one more time. My message isn't rhyme. My name's Composy, and I'm a war for peace. All senseless attacks I see must cease. I'm gonna fight for the red, white, yellow, and black. Fight for the ones who can't fight back. So let's keep passing around our information. Improve this planet through education. Somebody's got to make the people aware. Somebody's got to make everybody care. So pass my message on if you care. And whether it's mine or yours, we all got to share. Because there's more power in one person's voice than all the weapons of military choice. So with our voices we can shout out loud. We're part of the human race, and we are proud. We don't have to be a master of science to see. We need to make a worldwide alliance in order to approach the corporations, asking people for insubordination when they bring what's happening to our waters and the disease spreading through our slaughters. About the government officials right behind them with their backdoor handshakes and verbal deals that bind them. We've seen the world can be devastated through the actions of people with their minds of hatred. There's no getting through a war without losses. Lenin, King, and Gandhi are all symbolic crosses. Speakers of the past inspire speakers of the future. Try to heal the world, the metaphorical suture. census tax, I see my seas, but I won't be able to move this world all alone. Just remember, this is also your home. Da 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 da. This is also your home. Sister tax, I see my sins. Won't be able to move this world all alone. So remember, this is also your home. So if I put my voice and your voice, we shout together. People gonna hear us and things are gonna get better. Deny peace. Deny peace. Deny peace. Dark, thank you for writing such powerful lyrics. And for trusting me with that one. It took me like, what, 6 months to get to a place where I feel like I could loop that, and that felt so powerful.
Where I talk about all things cannabis and all things getting high, which includes other types. We talk about the mechanism of like getting high through LSD and stuff like that. We go on educational explorations down the YouTube rabbit hole on cannabis, LSD, hallucinogenics, mushrooms and stuff, and it's just fun. We have fun. We play some games sometimes as well together, and we just chit chat and have fun. So welcome so much to my stream. I appreciate you guys being here. Oh, thank you so much. The Dark Tribe has come to join your mission to greatness just because you're awesome. Someone said LSD. Yes, that was me. That was me. I said it. You guys are so awesome. I'm just catching up on the chat here. Nice emojis. Thank you, Scuba Duck, for the follow. I appreciate that. Appreciate that so much. Oh my gosh, so many things just happened. Thank you guys. Welcome. Hi, T5, T-Bear 505. Hello, how are you? Dark Nate V, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm not sure if I said that already. I'm just trying to go up.
What? Nothing.
Seriously, thank you so much for joining. How are you? Cute bear paws. I love that. But welcome in. So right now, currently, it's my game day, and I've got about another like 20 minutes or so to go on my gaming before I get too frustrated, I think, and I just become like a monster, and you all just see me turn into a monster on stream. I am currently playing Mario Kart 8, and I'm getting my ass handed to me, like, in a bad way. Oh my gosh, I love the bear paw emojis, the pride emojis. That's so awesome. Yes, I love that so much. Anyway, so yeah, I'm playing on 200cc. I don't know if y'all play Mario Kart 8 or anything, but 200cc is the fastest level. It's the fastest speed that everybody goes at, so it's kind of crazy. And I'm playing all these levels that I don't have any trophies or stars on yet. I'm trying to get trophies, trying to get stars really, which means like 54 points and higher. And so far I'm not getting any stars. So far I'm not doing so good. You know, streamers rarely get my name right the first time. Yeah. Dark Nate V. T-Bear 505. I was hoping, I'm rereading it, hoping I got it right. I have no idea. Dark Native. Oh. Now I see it. I'm so sorry. Now I see it. I scrolled up. I missed your message when I was scrolling earlier. I would have caught that sooner. Dark Native. I love it. I'm sorry. That's awesome. I dig it. I'm a little slow. I just totally. Oh, yay! Mommy, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. I Oh, you're the one who rated. How come I thought it said Adrian rated, but it's you. Dark Native. Thank you so much for the raid. Anyway, thank you so much, T-Bear, for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm so screwy in my head right now because I just took a dab. You followed Adrian Vixen here. Okay. So what's happening is my Streamlabs recent events alert is not telling me the truth. It's telling me, oh, you know what it is? It says Adrian rated with a party of 30, and then you rated with a party of 16. That's what it says. So because you set up a raid to her, it became a raid train. Now I'm following what's going on with my alerts. I got double rated. Damn, that sounds sexy. That sounds like a good time, I'm not gonna lie. I did get double rated. It was awesome. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, I just took a dab and I got my brain all kind of blitzed up. So I'm in one of those headspaces right now where it's a little sluggish upstairs, but it's okay. I'm gonna play this game and show you guys how bad I'm doing. Speaking of. Got this cute new vape. Super pretty. Oh. I was wondering why it tasted different. My husband reloaded it. It's like fully loaded now with dabs in it. Not just concentrate. Or not just the CO2 extract, but glass dabs. Anyway. Does that hurt the vape? No. No, it doesn't. Adrian Vixen whispered me? Oh. She gave you a hint?
I'm not dead.
Hey,
What?
Ruben, how's it going?
I'm not dead.
How are you? Thanks for joining. I got raided and I'm trying to catch up with all of the awesome people on my raid train. You just missed it. This is pretty rad. I got double raided actually. So I got like double teamed. It was pretty amazing. I was at Barnes and Noble? The bookstore? Oh, don't be sorry, man. Thank you for joining at all. I appreciate you being here. I'm playing Mario Kart 8 and I'm getting my ass handed to me. Here, watch. I'm on 200cc right now. And the game is just going so fast and like I'm smoking weed so my reflexes are not the greatest.